My first myth asks if there's any truth behind the claim that there's actually a Beatles song called Carnival of Light that's never been released in any form whatsoever. This is one of the great stories about the Beatles, and to be honest, it is completely true. It 100% exists. It was recorded in January of 1967 and was actually done specifically for an art event that they were doing at the Roundhouse Theater. And that art festival was basically something that focused on electronic music and light shows. It was kind of an early rave. In fact, it was an early rave. From the few people who have heard it, the song itself is just basically distorted organs and drums and guitar sounds, and then you have random sound effects and you have John and Paul screaming. It's basically just experimental in the terms that it's random sounds going on, kind of what you'd expect in that situation. The track runs the better part of 15 minutes, and they almost put it out on the Beatles anthology too, but George nixed it at the last second. The master tapes are still absolutely in existence. Paul McCartney has said he still has them and they're in good condition, but he can't release it without Ringo and the widows of Paul and George both signing off on it. In the end, this is totally true, and hopefully sometime soon we'll actually get to hear it. My second myth asked if there's any truth behind the claim that Prince's Purple Rain was actually written as a tribute to Jimi Hendrix's Purple Haze. Both Prince and Hendrix are guitar gods onto their own, and let's be honest, the Purple one rips it up from beginning to end on the entire album, and this song is definitely one of the standouts. But is there a link between the two songs? No, none at all. Sonically, there's really no similarity between the two songs, and while they're both amazing tracks, there's just no connection there. I've heard this one circulated a lot, but it's still total myth. My last myth asked if it's true that Don Felder was actually Tom Petty's guitar teacher. For those of you having trouble placing the name Don Felder, he was in the Eagles, okay? You got it now? And as far-fetched as you might think this might be, it's totally true. Back in the day, Tom Petty was growing up in Gainesville, Florida, and Don Felder was working at one of the local music shops. He gave music lessons on the side to make a bit more money, and Tom Petty was absolutely one of his students. At the time, Petty was playing bass, and Don Felder actually tried to help a couple of Petty's bands, and he was one of the key figures in Petty switching over to guitar. While they didn't play together in those eras, there's no question about it. Don Felder was one of Tom Petty's early guitar teachers. So those are my myths for this week. Be sure to check back here every Friday as I delve into some of the coolest stories in music history. If you've got a story you want me to check out, you can email it to me at thedailyguru@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook right here, and I'll see you guys again next time.